Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Saturday morning Tell the World Nation Zoom call. It is Saturday, August 26th, and my name is Ruth Sherlock. I am a regional vice president with Arbonne, an independent consultant. And thank you again for getting on. This is going to be a great call, and I can't wait to jump in today's trainings. But before that, we're going to go ahead and go straight into announcements. So a couple things coming up. We do have the end of the month is coming up on Thursday. So make sure that you've got your end of the month checklist printed off from the website and you're starting to work through that here in the next couple of days. We also have, if you don't know, we have a Book Boss Club, and this is a club that we do for going through books. Jen loves it. She's so excited. And we are going to be starting a new book. We don't have the official date when we're going to get started yet. We'll get that from our national vice president, soon to be executive. Samantha Milady is going to kick that off for us. But the book is going to be Miracle Morning. I know a lot of you have heard about this. We hear it about every single training that we go to. So we've decided that our soon-to-be nation needs to go through it. So that's going to be the book if you want to pick that up on Amazon or wherever. It's called The Miracle Morning. And we have some incentives right now. We have one for our nation. So you can go to the Lifer Nations page to check that out from Samantha. We have our region incentives. That's going to be our Donna Johnson getaway. And we also have the Arbonne incentive. So we have the Let's Do Lunch incentive, which everyone's earning. We have the California Dreamin'. We have bonuses and all of that. So just make sure that you're tracking with those, especially as we're getting towards the end of August and jumping into September. Speaking of September, we have Holiday Line coming out next month. It is amazing. You guys are going to freak out. It's just, oh my gosh. And if you've already gone to Impact, you've probably already seen it. So, cat's out of the bag a little bit. But make sure that you guys are getting ready for that you're booking holiday presentations, that you're meeting with your consultants and preferred clients and letting them know we are launching our Christmas line next month. I would love for you to be one of the first ones to see it. Can we book a get together? Can we do a viewing party, a sip and see? All of those things. So definitely you want to prepare for that right away so that people can start getting their holiday shopping going. And you can just book a really great next couple of months as we roll into holiday and the biggest quarter, our fourth quarter in Arbonne. We also have the Champion Breakfast coming up next month, but you have until the end of the month if you're a district manager or above to earn your manager bonus. You get to go to breakfast paid for by your upline VPs. So definitely check that you're on track with that. Impact, if you've not already gone, like I said, they're all over the world. So wherever you are, make sure and find the nearest one to you and get there. There's still time to register and you still get that free gift. And then as we just roll in towards the end of the month, looking at our goals, this is the perfect time to up your goal or up your activity. What needs to go up, right? So matching that to make sure that you're on track with what you said you were going to do and go for it. We have a full 5 days, you guys, and today. So with that, we are going to roll straight in to today's first training. I'm going to be kicking off. So hello. And what I'm going to share with you guys today is about speaking with clarity and confidence. This is a training that I heard a couple of years ago at the the VP meeting at GTC. And it's by ENVP Bill McFarlane. You guys will recognize his voice as you listen to this later, because I definitely would love for you guys to do that. But he's the one who does that little video clip on our Tell the World Nations website about how simple Arbonne is and what it looks like, that little animated one. So he's an amazing speaker and broadcaster. But so with that, what we want to do when we're speaking with clarity and confidence, this is going to pour over into multiple ways. But what we want to do is we want to be able to present with confidence, right? Whether it's a one-on-one or a meeting, a DA, or whatever is in our business, we want to do that with confidence. And we also want to be able to handle objections well and with clarity so that our audience or that person that we're talking to knows what we're saying, they understand, and they get a clear picture so they don't ever walk away feeling confused. So what we want to do, our goal is to be concise and to be simple. So we simplify, we clarify, and then we magnify. Okay, so and by magnify, we magnify what we have to offer, that it's truly extraordinary, whether it's the business or whether it's the products. So there are 6 principles that Bill shares, and the first one is called the pyramid of communication. Okay, and he drew this little diagram. Let's see, you can see it there. So if you have 6 points that you want to share with your audience, you're going to start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's just kind of a picture to get it in your head to be able to share on track. So you don't just walk into a meeting without a clear goal and just kind of talking, right? Some of those things we use are tools like the Why Arbonne sheet, right? And how to communicate a DA, and we have our script and stuff like that. But you also want to have an idea of a few things. So there's 3 questions that you want to ask. What do I want to say? Who am I speaking to? So knowing your audience. And 3, how will I put it? So you really want to look at what's in it for your audience and listen to know or listen to understand. And we hear this all the time. So we want to know, what's this person or this group's current situation? If you're in a situation with a one-on-one, you want to find out where are they at? What are their dreams, desires, and discontents? You want to know that so that you can address it and then repeat it back to them. So an example would be a college student. They had great grades in high school, they graduated college, and now they're like, oh my goodness, I'm not getting a job in my field. This is so frustrating. I need an additional income stream, or I need something more. I have all these goals and I can't reach them. So something you could say back to them is, I totally understand. I understand what you've told me. You've worked really hard in school. You've just graduated college. You got a really great degree, and then you entered a broken economy, or you weren't able to get the job you wanted, and you're disappointed at your prospects of what's in the future. Would it be okay if I told you about a business that can give you a limitless income if you're willing to work hard and smart? So you're instantly playing back to them what they are looking for, and then you're giving them an offer. You're putting an offer out them, and also you're clearly telling them it's going to take them working hard and smart. Okay, so it's fully there. And it doesn't matter how many points that you have on this triangle that you've got in your head, but you do want to have the last one being a call to action. So what they want to do next. So can I meet you next Tuesday to get my products back? If it's a drop off, we can have a cup of coffee and hear how you get, and I can tell you how you get started. Or if they're at Discover Arbonne, they're like, yes, I want to get going, but I'm going to go home and I've got to put the kids to bed. Something like that. And you're like, oh my gosh, that's wonderful. Let's talk tomorrow morning. How's 9 o'clock? And then we'll just walk through how to get you started. All of those things, so that you're really walking them through with clarity. So that's the first thing, is having that triangle of communication, that you know exactly what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, and who you're talking to, knowing your audience. And number 2 is turning jargon into clear pictures. This is so big. How often do you, if you go into a one-on, you're like, oh, I'm an RVP, and then you want to go to DM, and this is the level at DM, and you earn this much a month. That doesn't make sense to anybody who's not in Arbonne. So we want to make sure that we're super, super clear. So for example, if I'm in a presentation, I say, I'm a regional vice president with Arbonne, and that's the 3rd level out of the 4 levels of management. That makes a lot more sense to someone. So you're instantly giving them that clarity. And then we have the duty to explain things to people, again, so they walk away with a sense of understanding. And we want to connect with them simply, connecting the dots in a way that they understand, and then they can then turn around and explain it to somebody else, or they go home and they talk to their family. They can do that clearly, okay? So you can use stories or analogies or illustrations that relate to them, right? So, if they're, let's say they're a single mom or something like that, and they're working a 9 to 5, and then you start giving them like a car analogy, and they're like, it doesn't really make sense to me. Or you're talking to a man and you're like, oh, it's totally like when you have a baby and you have to make sure you're there. Like, that doesn't make sense, right? You want to really know who you're talking to and address it that way with clear pictures. The 3rd thing is to flesh out the watering down words. And these last points are honestly the most important ones that I want to focus on. Flesh out the watering down words is point number 3. So get rid of the words try, or hopefully, or relatively, or reasonably, I think, I'll do my best, possibly, maybe. These are all really wishy-washy words. And a lot of us use them without even recognizing it, Here's some products, you might like them. Go ahead and give them a try. And why don't we maybe get together next week? I just used a couple in a sentence. Did you pick them up? We didn't say anything really certain, right? So, Even when we're talking about promotions, oh, I'm hoping to promote to district manager in the next month or so. We'll see, or hopefully, fingers crossed. Or another scenario might be, yeah, I might come to the DA with a guess. I don't know if I might get babysitting or I might have this issue, but I'll do my best. I'll try. There's no commitment there. Whatever it is, you want to make sure that you are conveying commitment for yourself and for the person you're talking to. And belief has a sound. Cecilia Stoll says this all the time, and I love it. Belief has a sound. So we want to say things like, I'm committed to going to district qualifications this month, and I will do whatever it takes. I will bring my guest to the DA, and I'll be bringing my son if necessary, or I'll be bringing somebody with me, or, I will make sure and find someone to take him with, because we don't really do Discover Arbonnes with kids. I'll be at the Discover Arbonne no matter what it takes. And something that I love that he pointed out was, when you look around at trainings, who are the ones that you recognize? They're usually the ones in higher levels of management. Why? Not because they're in levels of management, but because they're committed to going to the meeting. And that's what it takes to really promote and go to the top level of this company, is being committed to being there. That's why you see the same people all the time and you see their businesses moving. Okay, so those are the words we don't want to use. The new words that we do want to use in breathing belief is things like, I firmly believe, or I am determined, or I am committed, or my clear goal is. Okay, so they're very specific words. I am determined to get to regional vice president this month. I've set a clear goal for myself of this much QV by this date, and I'm committed whatever it takes to get there. I firmly believe that I can get my team and leaders to district manager area, and then as a team, we will succeed and we will get our Mercedes next month. How much clarity is in that, right? For your team, for people you're talking to that don't even know what you do, but you're like, this is exactly what we're doing. And they might be like, what? But they know the tone is different. And belief comes from other people believing in you first. So as leaders, and whether that is a leader of one person, if it's the leader of yourself, or it's a leader of an entire nation, it is our job to believe in people first before they believe in it for themselves. Some people are unicorns and they just believe in themselves instantly. But for the most part, we have to breathe that belief. Think about your upline and how they breathed belief into you. We have to do the same thing for our team. Okay, so then number 4 is to drop the pink elephant. This one is awesome. When I say don't think about pink elephant, probably 99.9 to 100% of you just thought of a pink elephant and then you tried to really quickly get it out of your mind, right? So we want to just drop it. Don't even go there. And a pink elephant would be like, oh, this isn't a get rich quick scheme or pyramid scheme, or you don't need to know a ton of people to be successful. I'll teach you how to meet more. It doesn't matter when you start to make money if you're, it's not a ground floor. Like, don't worry about that. Like, everyone can be successful. We think we're doing a good thing, but we really want to tell them what they do need to know, not what they don't need to know. Okay, so what you would want to say is something more like, you will earn money, and good money, if you work this business hard, smart, and consistently, and continue to help others succeed, because that's what we do. You only need to know a few people, and they'll plug into their networks, and you'll help them do that. You'll see the numbers grow over the years. This gives them assurance. You only need to know a few people, and they plug in their networks. You'll help them to do that, and then you'll see the numbers grow over the years. It also paints the vision of long-term. Over the years, you will continue to see growth. So there's some other examples. I don't want to spend too much time going over them all, but let me tell you, this training, I would highly, highly recommend every single person on this call listening to it, because he gives so many clear examples of different scenarios that, again, we don't have time to go over in these few minutes on the call, because I don't want to take time away from Natasha. But so those are some of the situations where you can trade one kind of unclear speaking for a new clear speaking. And, we can even put this into our everyday language, and we can change it every single day. If someone says, oh, how are you? Oh, I'm not doing too bad. Can't really complain. What if you instead just said, I'm great, thanks. How are you? Right? You're just shifting it to the positive with everything that we say. And another thing that he mentioned was something we could say is, instead of I don't, or we haven't, you can say yet. Well, I'm not a district manager yet, but I'm doing this, this, and this. Or, I haven't XYZ yet. So there's a picture that you're going to be doing that. Okay. So that is a great thing to use as well. And then number 5, so we're going to go over these last 2 really quickly. A direct question demands a direct answer. Okay, so either yes or no. You want to get away from I don't know. I'm sorry, not I don't know. Yes or no is a direct answer. I don't know and it's too early to say are also very direct. So people will trust what you have to say. Think of it as when somebody invites you to a party, right? And they say, hey, are you going to the party? And you're like, I'll have to see it. Yeah, we'll probably be there. It's so vague. But if you said no or yes, or I don't know, I have to find out first with, this situation, something like that. So people trust you when you're clear. But when we get vague or start to kind of beat around the bush, that's when they start doubting us, whether we mean to or not. Okay. Number 6 is being able to, so number 6 is sorry seems to be the hardest word. So what we want to do is go through, you're sorry for something that happened, and then so that's the regret and reason and remedy. Trying to go through this fast. I'm losing my own clarity. Regret, reason, and remedy. So we want to go over the regret, that we apologize and empathize, but then we give a reason and a remedy. So an example would be somebody who says, I had a bad reaction to that RE9 set. And you can say, I'm so sorry to hear that. Can I ask you a few questions about how you applied it and how concentrated it was? I really, really want to get to the bottom of this and solve it for you because RE9 has an incredible reputation and I want you to share that. And if it's too concentrated for you, we have, I have another set called Calm that I can let you use. It might be better for your skin. So we're moving them in a positive direction, but we're still finding out what the problem is. So regret, and then what's the reason, and then giving them a remedy. So listening to understand. And then the last one, number 6. Where I must not have written number 6. Oh, yes, I did. That's number 6. I just said it. Sorry, you guys. Okay. So I will leave you with this and then a quick call to action. So there's a Chinese philosopher and he said, watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. So in a nutshell, the thought is that your thought becomes your destiny. So you have that opportunity to change it at the beginning before you start to create these habits and your ultimate, where you end up ultimately. So for leaders, speak belief and commitment over your team. Speak belief and conviction over to your prospects. This SoundCloud, listen to the one, I will post it. Like I said, there are a ton of scenarios and examples and verbiage. And then prepare well so that you'll communicate clearer and stronger because people are attracted to clarity. And we always say we follow people who know where they're going. So keep it simple, keep it short, and keep it to the point. Breathe in belief, and then you'll breathe out confidence. And you will get better at this. So don't feel like it's something that you are where you are. No. Donna Johnson, I was just listening to her on this same call and she said, you know what, I wish I had a paper bag at my first presentation. Donna Johnson is one of the top income earners who's been in Arbonne, I think almost 30 years. She said, I wish I had a paper bag because I was hyperventilating at my first presentation. And now she's one of the top leaders and she speaks with Erin Worre and amazing top leaders in the speaking industry, not only in Arbonne. So anyways, with that, I want to go ahead and pass it on over to Miss Natasha Olivas, Executive District Manager, soon to be Area Manager. I'm so excited for her. So take it away.
Thank you for that lovely introduction. And it's such a great morning. It's always a great morning whenever I get to see all your beautiful faces. So like Ruth had said, and those of you who I have yet to meet, I'm Natasha Olivas, Executive District Manager with Arbonne, and I have the privilege of training with you this morning. And didn't you just love like Ruth's training? I mean, I listened to that SoundCloud yesterday and it was just such a great one. And I listened to it more than one time. So then all of that resonated with me, but it's also changed a lot of my vocabulary at this moment. So it's been really an amazing tool to use. SoundCloud is incredible. I definitely recommend it. And follow the top leaders in the industry with Arbonne, so that you can definitely fill your mind with their verbiage, so that you're able to speak with that level of confidence. If you still have not felt that level of confidence, I still don't, because there's so much that I still want to learn and need to learn. But use that resourceful tool. I want to start with, I'm going to leave you with a couple quotes, but I want to start with a quote. This is going to go right into the training, but this quote, Rita Davenport had up at the Lifer retreat. So she had it on her on the screen behind her when she was up there speaking to us one of the days, and it said, the most powerful leadership tool you have is your personal example. So you are your own personal example to not only yourself, but to your team. So I am going to do a call to action. I know, Ruth, you already gave you a call to action. But for all of you on the call right now, I want you to turn off your video and keep it on. Sorry, turn on your video and keep it on through the training. And I'll explain why in just a minute, but I want to see how many of you actually do it. So when sharing, what I'm going to be sharing about today is a lot of the training that Dana Collins had did at the Lifer retreat a couple weeks ago. And she shared about her personal fitness journey and the correlation that it was with her business in Arbonne. And as many of you, as many of us, if not all of you, know that if you want to see results in your body by maybe going to the gym, committing to our healthy eating program, whether it's to increase your strength or to define your muscle tones, but we have to put the work in every day. Just like we all know the saying, no pain is no gain. So we must push ourselves beyond our limits or our comfort zone in order to see growth, then results from our consistent efforts. How many of us have actually started working towards the goal and stopped because we became uncomfortable? Maybe you were thinking, I'm going to go into district manager this month, or I'm completing district this month, or I'm going area and I'm completing area this month. Whatever those goals may be, I know there's been many times I've done it, or I've said, I'm doing this. I've told Ruth, I'm doing this. And then a week or two later, I'm like, maybe not. And then I reduce my goal because my activity isn't there, so that I can now reach an attainable target. But why? And why do I say doing it next month and it doesn't make sense? So stop giving yourself this back door and instead go for it. Just like we're going back to the gym training. Imagine that you had a personal trainer. You told them that you wanted to have nice defined abs because it was a summer slim down time frame that you wanted in 30 days. And so with him, you decide to make a 30-day goal, 3-month goal, 6-month, and 12-month goal, right? You have it all set out for you. But in the second week, you miss a session of personal training with them. The week after, you may have one more and then continue on. Maybe it goes to 2 missing, and then it just continues down the way. Well, at the end of your 30 days, you evaluate where you're at and where you're going to be going. Well, the hard truth is, now that there's been missing pieces, there's been inconsistency in the work putting in, your goal will never be attained. If it is, if you're even lucky, you might reach it in a year. So see how inconsistency can hurt us, whether you can see it physically, or not. You're definitely putting the work in like a gardener. You're putting in the seeds. You have to water them. Then you have to harvest. Harvesting season is so different for so many people. So if you don't have consistency in your business, you're not going to be able to grow. And without growth, you're not going to be able to move into the next level of leadership. So it all starts with you. We have a simple system, very simple system. It's successful if you work it. So one of the things that I remember hearing there that I want to share and kind of reach and talk about is we have a system. So why change it to meet your comfort zone? Your comfort zone is a place that may look beautiful and familiar, but there is absolutely no growth there. So don't change the system to fit your comfort zone. We have a system. If you do X and Y, you're going to get Z. But if you take out X because you don't like how to do X and you only do Y, you're never going to get Z. Does that make sense? Like, you have to plug into the formula. Our formula, as you learned, if you had been at Christy's house for the training, but you already know it. One of the things that we always have and was repeated over and over again at the life retreat, getting in front of 40 new faces a month. 40 new faces. We all know how to do that with activities, whether that be a one-on-one, a drop kit, or events. Get those things on your calendar. Rolling 15 of 15 days worth of activities, whatever that looks like. And then finding 7 people to do 30-day cleanse with you. Whether you're doing it or not, have them join and do the 30-day. Those are 2 simple things, right? Well, 3, because I told you the 40 faces, but that's going to go in line with the other pieces that you have there. It's simple, and we need to just do it. If it makes you feel uncomfortable, go and push yourself just through it, because just like that next push-up or that next sit-up or that last burpee, right? All those bits and pieces are going to give you bigger results down the way. So you have to keep pushing through them. You have to explain this when you're bringing in new people to your team. They have a system to follow, and they need to follow the system. Don't adjust it because they're scared on doing a launch party, or they're scared to do a 25th jumpstart. Maybe they're scared to do their dream team event. Like, that's okay. You're there. You have to pour in that belief, like Ruth was saying, into your new teammates so that they can be a part of it and they understand what this growth looks like, because you have the confidence and you see the potential in them of what they can accomplish. When you pour that belief into your team, they pour it back into you. I know this from personal experience because I just love my team so much, and all the belief that they've poured back into me, they probably have no idea about it at all. So I'm super grateful for them. And doing it with a team, get people started right away. Relaunch your business if so be it. We have a great new website to use. Oh my gosh, how amazing, right? Use that tool. Do your dream team events, because when you have commitment in a community, people are going to stay with you through it all. So if you have some of the best people you ever thought you could work with, and you're all committed to staying in it together and go to the end, just like any team would, they're going to be there with you. So get on it. Let's get your dream team events going, and let's continue to finish this month out with a boom. That we're going into the 4th quarter here pretty soon, and this is probably the most fun quarter, in my opinion, in anyone's business, from the holiday line to the incentive trips being announced. And it's a great time, but the time is now. You have to make the decision. Last thing I wanted to share was one of these I know that I've had to really work through and took away as a big nugget still from that retreat was, don't compare your worst self to others' best selves. Again, don't compare your worst self to others' best selves. That steals so much joy. And it's not fair to you, because we don't know their worst self. We may think that their best self is them all the time, but we never know what's really going on. So stop the comparing and love on yourself. I'm going to leave you with a couple inspirational quotes before we close out this call. So the first one is, every day you reinvent yourself. You're always in motion, but you decide every day whether that's forward or backward. That's from James Altucher. I can put these on the page too, so you can have these wonderful quotes and look at them when you need a little bit of a inspiration or kick. If you are not where you want to be, don't quit. Instead, reinvent yourself and change your habits. Eric Thomas. And the last thing, because I think so many, especially since you're on this call, so many of you are in this spot, but never give up on something that you can't go a day without thinking about. Winston Churchill. I know I think about all the Arbonne a lot because I know what it's done for me. I know what it's going to do for me, and I know what it's going to do for so many others. So I need to make sure that I can never give up on me, never give up on my business, and never give up on my team, because it's going to be so much more for them and for the people I haven't talked to yet, than we could ever imagine. So I hope you all have an amazing, amazing Saturday. We are so close to finishing out this month. So finish it strong, give it your all, and hit the next level. I want to thank you all for who has turned on your camera. I think that's quite incredible, because what that showed me is that a lot of you who I see on the meetings, a lot of the time, I see your beautiful camera taken off so I can see your name or I can see your beautiful picture. But by putting yourself in exposure, so to speak, you've now pushed yourself outside of your comfort zone. And that's the first step that you needed to take today. So I am so excited for all of you. So keep pushing through, because if you can, look at all the people who are on the call. It's so much more fun when you can see what everyone's doing, where everyone's at, no matter makeup or none. I'm still in bed because I've been in all these places, getting ready to go to the gym, whatever it may be. You all look beautiful. And because of that community, it's so much more of a breath of fresh air for everyone to push forward, because it doesn't matter where we're at. This is makeup from yesterday because I didn't want to do it today. So I'm headed to the gym right now. But I love you all. Have an amazing Saturday. Ruthie, if you have anything else to share. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and close out the call.
I just want to say thank you. That was an amazing, amazing call. Sorry, here I'm on 2 devices. That was amazing. Thank you so much, Natasha. You're so right, and you just gave us so much to think about and walk away with and move forward with. Thank you, everyone, for getting on this call. We will see you all at Impact if you're in California. Rock out the end of the month. See you guys.
Bye.